6, and I will call this meeting to order. So let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, roll call, please.
Mayor Terry Wycombe.
Here.
Vice Mayor Steve Sanger.
Here.
Councilmember Darrell Gardner. Councilmember Tanya Lumen. Councilmember Bruce Seelaw.
Here.
Councilmember Chris Weisenberg.
Here.
Councilmember Jacqueline Wells. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next thing on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Vice Mayor Sanger.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. All right, next thing on our agenda is new business. This is, see, I guess we need a motion. Vice Mayor Sanger.
I move to consider entering into an agreement for the operation of the Rochelle Ranch Golf Course Restaurant beginning May 24th, 2023 and continuing to May 15th, 2024.
What's the second?
Been a motion made and seconded to consider entering into an agreement for the operation of the Rochelle Ranch Golf Course Restaurant beginning May 24th, 2023 and continuing May 15th, 2024. Is there any discussion? And I'm sure there is. I'm just going to start with you, Jason. Tell us what you know.
Sure. Honorable Mayor and City Council, we have placed a request for proposal for a restaurant in the City of Rawlins website January 9th, as well as in the Rawlins Times on January 14th and 21st. Starting last year, we tried to reach out and go more than just locally and more regionally to try to attract restaurants. This last year, we contacted a bunch of culinary arts schools in Wyoming and surrounding states to try to see if we can get some students interested. We also placed the RFP in the Saratoga Sun, the Rocket Miner in Rock Springs, and the Laramie Boomerang and the Cheyenne Eagle to try to get more coverage to try to recruit a restaurant. We do feel that operating a restaurant at the golf course is an important benefit not only to golfers but to community residents as well and visitors. So our goal is to find a restaurant concessionaire, and it has been to try to find someone to come in here and operate a restaurant year-round at the golf course. And I'll talk a little bit about my conversations with Edgar in a little bit. But he did reach out, and actually I want to thank Yvonne Johnson from Carbon County. She actually made that connection with us and brought Edgar to me, and we started the conversation. He's very interested. He wants to operate a restaurant year-round. He has a partner that is working with him. He's already looking at plans to have different events and special events and catering to business parties and things like that during the winter months, so during the off season of the golf course. I've had several conversations with Edgar. He goes by the name of Wynn, both in person and on the phone. We've probably met 4 times out at the golf course to talk about the facility, and then to talk about the agreement, and then any other kind of questions and what requirements as far as permits and licenses. And he's very excited, very eager, and very motivated, and I like what I see out of him, and I think he would be a great fit. I do want to say, unfortunately, this morning, I don't think he's going to be here. He ran into a last-minute scheduling issue, and so I do want to say that I have been working with him almost daily, and so by him not being here, I did want to point out a few things with the agreement. If you look at, and you don't have to turn to those pages unless you'd like to.
I don't think we have that.
We don't have your...
Okay.
It's on the computer.
So
Could
page 3.
we get a copy?
I will go make a copy of mine. Okay, thank you.
Under page 3 and 4 of the agreement, it talks about usage fee. So let me start with this. So I'm proposing council make 2 revisions to this agreement today that's different and revised from any previous agreement that we've had, mostly last year, because over the last couple of years, we've made some changes to try to help bring in a restaurant to concessionaire. So the one addition is I'm requesting that we require a $500 deposit, key cleaning, security, just a $500 refundable deposit, so that if there is any carryover issues with leaving the restaurant a mess, we can hire somebody to come in and do some cleaning, or if there's any bills that are unpaid, that will help with that. So that's one revision. The other is that because we didn't have a concessionaire the last couple months, we started shifting towards running a restaurant in-house, which is not something we want to do, but we feel that it's a benefit to our golf community, our golf course, and residents as well. So we pushed forward to start developing a menu and open a restaurant in-house. Staffing has been an issue, which is a Rawlins thing these days. But we are prepared. We were prepared to reduce our menu and our hours due to staffing. But we do have inventory that we purchased. We purchased some food items and we purchased some liquor. And so the other addition to this agreement that you'll see on page 4, which is number 4C, it says, upon execution of this agreement, concessionaire agrees to purchase from the city at cost the current inventory of food and alcohol on hand previously purchased by the city for interim concession use. So in other words, the concessionaire will purchase any inventory that we have at the golf course from this year. So what I'm getting at with Wynn not being able to be here today, these items all say upon execution of the agreement, they must submit a deposit of $500. Upon execution of this agreement, they must submit a check for $400 for the first 4 months' rent, and then they should also submit a check for the reimbursement of inventory. So that's
So
why
the
I wanna-
$400 is per month or for 4 months?
for 4 months. So upon execution of this agreement, concessionaires shall pay the city the amount of $400, which is a $100 per month usage fee for the first 4 months of this agreement. And then, since you bring that up, I'll read the rest of it. Beginning October 1st, 2023, concessionaires shall pay the city usage fee of $700 a month. So after, what we worked on last summer is reduce the initial 4 months rent so that they can have that money to put into inventory and advertising or whatever they want. After that 4 months, we would increase the rent to $700 a month. And I think that goes for about another 6 months. And then we would come back to the table after that time and look at fair market value of a restaurant, look at their finances, see how well they're doing. If they're struggling, we might come to council and say, let's keep the rent at $700, or let's reduce the rent, or if they're doing really well, we might recommend increasing the rent. But the whole idea is to try to work with a concessionaire and do whatever we can to encourage their success, basically. So in other words, the execution of the agreement is after all parties sign. So I think in years past, the restaurateur would come to the meeting with a check for $400 at the time of the council approving it, but that's not necessary. And I did confirm that with Wendy, that we're okay with that. So an update on the current status of licenses. So retail food license, actually I got Mikhail, the health inspector, on the phone with Edgar last week, and she forwarded the paperwork necessary for him to fill out, which has been done, so we're just waiting for that to come back. Mikhail's already inspected our facility when we were going to operate the restaurant, so all she needs to do is to do a pre-opening inspection of the restaurant facility, the kitchen, and approve his application, which should be any day if it hasn't been already. The next is liability insurance. He's reached out and applied for that. He's working on it. Workers' comp insurance is the same. And then he's working on the sales tax registration. And then he did submit a business plan and a proposal that I believe was up on board docs, and I believe you have a copy in front of you. It also lists the hours of operation that he's recommending at the beginning towards maybe the last page. So I want to point out that I am working with him daily, and the restaurant will not be permitted to open until all required permits and licenses are complete and reviewed by myself. And that's the same situation that we were in last year when we went for the second concessionaire last summer. We didn't have a whole lot of time. We actually had a special council meeting, and council approved the agreement with a few things that weren't completed yet, trusting that I would make sure all those ducks are in line before we allow them to operate the restaurant. And my recommendation is in the council agenda item, recommending that council move to enter into an agreement with Edgar Haymond for the purpose of operating the Rochelle Ranch Golf Course Restaurant beginning May 24th, 2023, and continuing through May 15th, 2024, pointing out that the restaurant will not be open on the 24th. It'll be open when all the permits and licenses are secured and in hand, and I have copies. And I'd be happy to answer any questions anybody might have.
So if we approve this, it will be contingent upon fulfilling all of those requirements.
Correct. The ones
Of
I just
license
the ones
and-
I just listed, as well as payment of the
Sure.
deposit, rent, and inventory.
Okay. Councilman Weisenberg?
Yeah, and here I see, and you had read it, sorry. $100 fee for the first 4 months, which is starting May 15th, according to what was given as a motion. So 4 months after that would actually be September, not October.
Right.
And so that would give another 5 months according to this agreement. I just want to point that out.
I just put October 1st to start the $700 per month to start clean on October 1st. So it's 4 months and change, isn't it? So May.
Yeah, it'd be 15 days,
Half of that.
half a
Correct.
month.
4.5 months.
I just didn't, if the agreement starts on the 15th.
October 1st would be the first $700 payment.
So we're requiring 15, so it'll be prorated for 15 days ultimately, because you're going to pay rent on the 1st and prorate back.
No, it's gonna be $400 for the first
$400 for the first
4.5
4.5
months.
Yeah.
months. And then it goes to the first. So
And then it'll go to 7.
For 400. Right.
Is the way it's written.
And there's also the possibility, depending on how long it takes licenses, that since this is upon execution, that is when the $400 begins. So if they don't get up and running by June, then we would amend this contract with those dates.
I notice here also on business description, it says the company shall be formed as an LLC. That takes a while. I mean, that's not an instantaneous thing, is it, Wendy?
It is actually pretty rapid. It's an online form now,
Oh.
and it only takes max a couple of days. Because,
Okay.
Yeah.
And they'll-
I just know in the past it's been a struggle for
The
me.
Secretary of State has very much streamlined it.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So with that in mind, what's the absolute soonest they would start?
I would say, once we have check in hand for those 3 items, and then all the licenses and permits that are listed on this agenda item are complete, and I have copy of confirmation that those are complete, then they can open the restaurant.
You thinking a week, a day, of
I
what?
mean,
Hoping by the end of the
he's
week.
been working diligently on getting his license and permits. I was supposed to get together with him this morning to see where he was so I could give you a better update on those that are listed here, but he was unavailable, so I don't think it'll be by this weekend, which is his hope. and it's not on his end. It's, you know,
Yeah.
you put the application in and then you have to wait for the response. So, but I would not be surprised if we're open sometime next week, because it was pretty rapid last year when we had the second concessionaire come in. It was late to the game, council meeting, and everything got knocked out pretty quick.
So if he's not in by this weekend, we're gonna run it this weekend.
And we have been on very
Yeah.
limited, but yes, we would
Because if you
continue.
got a tournament coming in this weekend, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to run it somehow.
Correct, with the current inventory. So what we're doing is a package that we open, you know, like, I think Kevin cooked hot dogs for our men's league one night last week, and then, so we deduct that from our inventory list. Okay. And actually, here's Edgar here. Hi, Edgar. How you doing?
Doing good, doing great.
What your plans are? Honorable Mayor,
to do it, all right.
Well, good morning, y'all. My name's Edgar Heyman. I go by Wynn from Houston, Texas. Moved up here about 3 months ago. Worked in the industry for about 25 years. Anywhere from back of the house cook, fry cook, to front of house manager, back of the house manager, AGM. Worked for Marriott and Brush Creek Ranch, the last 2 jobs I had. Before that, I was working for Trulux and also the Stone Crab Restaurant in Houston. Started in fine dining in 2010. Before that was more casual dining, Chili's and stuff like that. My plan for this is to be successful, be consistent. You know, the hours that are on there saying we're open, will be open. No, you know, swaying from those. And then also we'll start slow rolling. We're kind of like just getting the bar open so people, you know, golfers know that there's someone there. And then just kind of work your way maybe 2 weeks afterwards, get the menu going, all that stuff, get it out there, and have a great summer. You know, I mean, my sales goal is $180,000 a year. I also plan on using, you know, the little dining room space for banquets, Christmas parties, try to get out to some of the companies in the area, and, you know, getting more revenue from that. And just trying to drive business, get that place back open so that everybody that comes to Rawlins to play golf, you know, can get a beer and a burger or whatever you like. So,
Councilman Weisenberg.
You said you had worked for Brush Creek. This is what your current, are you currently?
no.
And what did you do?
I was the food and beverage manager for the, so I ran the AM breakfast and lunch. So I loved it there. It was just a little too small of a town for me. I got a little claustrophobic and I had to go a little bigger. I didn't want to go back to, you know, 4 million people, but, you know, 1,700 was a little too small for me. So I came here trying to figure out where I was going to go because I love this area of the country. So I was either going to stay in Wyoming, go to Montana, or down to Colorado. Were my plans. And then this just kind of came out of nowhere. Honestly, I mean, listen, I mean, I don't know. And so, you know, for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, been working on it, trying to get everything going. And so, yeah, I'm just ready to be part of this town. Like I was telling Yvonne the other night, I kind of feel like if I can get this, I mean, you know, there's this golf committee and all that stuff, and you just kind of be a part of not just the golf club, but about the city and, you know, working with, you know, Little League or doing charity stuff like that, something to help out, because I don't plan for this thing to be open for 3 months, do all this work, and then go. Like, that's not cool, first off, for the city, but it's not what I want. Like, I've always wanted to build something, and not from nothing, there's something there. It just needs the right person who cares and wants to be successful and isn't going to give up.
Thanks for the ambition. You know, you seem very ambitious. I've been to Brush Creek several times. It's not an easy place to put together something like you have done, obviously. Anybody that's been out there knows what that's like, knows the quality that's expected, and would understand what this could bring. So thank you for that ambition and
I used
wanting to be a
deliver
part of
ice
it.
out there. I dreaded it. Oh, man.
What did you say?
I used to deliver ice out there. They had a big ice cooler down by the barn
Yeah.
at that time, and it just took forever, first of all, to get there, and then second of all, by the time we got done going through everybody and just getting in the gate and all that, it was
especially-
something I did myself. 'Cause I
Oh,
couldn't-
geez. Especially during the wintertime, it's, food's got to get delivered up top and you got to bring it all the way down. It's,
Yeah.
it's an awesome place. It obviously, it wasn't built for what it is,
Yeah.
like moving stuff around, but, they do an awesome job. The wife family is awesome. Jean-Luc, the CEO of the company, is a really nice guy. I got to meet him 2 times. So
I never met those guys. I just
Delivered ice.
met the worker bees, but, anyway. You guys have any other questions of this gentleman? Wendy?
May I recommend a friendly amendment to the motion if the council so wishes that they incorporate rather than the 24th, indicate that it's upon completion of all licenses and requirements? Just so that on the record, it's not the 24th.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yes.
You made the motion, correct? Do you
Yes.
accept that as friendly?
I do.
And then, Chris, you,
Yes.
yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
If there's no more,
I guess-
okay, one more thing.
Sorry, I just want to know about beverage cart and all that. Is that the plan to run all that stuff too?
Yeah, of course. It's
Okay.
revenue. We went out there and looked at it, and it just needs a little cleaning up, and getting somebody out there. Especially Saturdays and Sundays. Maybe if there's golf tournaments during the week. I know there's 10 tournaments, including this weekend. So just trying to get out there and see we can drive as much revenue as we can, because that's just easy money right there. It's great, and it's great customer service. You're not coming off at 3 to go get a beer or something, or go get a water, and then going all the way back. And it'll help play out on the course too. Get some more people through there. Like people not having to do that. It's a great thing you can do with the turn. Like I was saying, it was an idea that Jason had to put. There's a little placard in the carts. You put a QR code in there. You can order food, pay for it, be ready for you when you hit when you come off 9 going to 10. It's just stuff like that that it's gonna make it awesome.
Any other questions or discussion? All right. You all know the motion, correct? Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, well, you got a lot of work to do.
Oh, I do.
Fill out all them papers and then
Yeah,
let
that's
me
what I was
know and
working
I'll
on.
come out and eat your food.
I hope you do.
I don't golf.
You don't golf?
No,
No.
no.
I try to, but
Well-
not really good at it.
I have a couple of friends that do. They told me if you ever get into it, buy 2 sets of gloves. And I said, why is that? And they said, because you'll break the first set. I've went out and dinked around, but it's
It's a
Not-
frustrating sport.
not
unless
something
you're
I
good.
haven't been. Yeah.
Very
It is.
frustrating sport.
Even
All right.
when you're good, I see frustration.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chris is the
I go out.
Golfer
I
on
try
this-
to go
of
out
this
quite a
bunch.
bit, but
You go adjourn the meeting, then we bullshit.
yeah. All right. This meeting's adjourned.
Thank
You have to go
Thank
through
you all.
all
So
the
moved.
steps. You have to go through all the steps. Hope you luck with finding employees.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Yvonne, thank you. How have you been?
Good.
Well, I know that.